If you're a butthole, they're not going to want to see you succeed. Okay, I just got done doing a takeoff on this one. You guys have seen me do that before. It's same old, same old. I use the counter. I use the floor sheeting. Do a rough count on all that. This house is pretty straightforward. It's big. Well, it's big for my work. It's 3,186 square feet of floor space. It's 9-foot ceilings throughout, 10 foot out in the garage. The garage has got a 10-inch concrete stem wall that we don't hang over. Then it's got this big mamba jamba room out here, 18-foot ceilings, big vault. So this one's a fun one out here. Other than this big room, this is a pretty easy house. No, like I said, other than this one big room, it's a pretty easy house. Nothing really crazy or difficult. No window wraps, no closet wraps, nothing like that. So lots of 54-inch board and lots of 48. Attic spaces, bonus rooms above garages oftentimes have these flat ceilings, clip corners to follow the roof line a little bit. One thing you gotta make sure is when you're measuring out for these, you want to measure how far from this point to that point. Because if it's 4'3", it sucks to have a 3-inch rip or even a larger seam down here. So when it comes time for these angles, oftentimes I will order a 54-inch board. That way we don't have another seam going up and down this whole wall. This one just happens to be right at 48 inches, so we're good on that. The flat part on this is 10 foot, so it's gonna be a 4 foot, 4 foot, a 2 foot. So really easy here. This is right at 5'6", so it'll be a 4-footer, then a rip all the way across the top. So the seam will be at that 4-foot line and not down there on the ground. Another thing you wanna make sure is do you have access to get 12-foot sheetrock up here? This staircase, my companies that we use, they do not pack 12-footers upstairs. So you can see Joel here in the staircase. So we're gonna have a really tall stairs. This corner is too sharp for 12-footers. Normally we would have a window, but this window is set. My builder forgot about me on this window. He has already got this window in, final trim, everything is all done. He forgot about my drywall. Can't get drywall in there without popping out that top pane. That pane is not removable without losing the seal. So this whole thing's gonna have to be done at 8-footers, which sucks. That means that we're gonna have about an extra 15, maybe 20 butt joints up here, which is gonna suck for the tapers. So I'm going to talk to the builder and see if he wants to pay a little extra money for all the extra work for the tapers, or if he wants to take the trim off that window, pull that window out so we can load this in here with the crane. So that's just a little tip you gotta pay attention to up in these attic spaces. Yeah, let's go downstairs. I'll show you some more stuff. So when you have a shower pan like this, you wanna make sure that you add a block all the way up to where the drywall can end and the tile backer can start. And then also shower doors. Let me turn this around. Not our dirt, this is the way it is right now, pre-drywall. So shower pan, make sure that there's a blocking going all the way up this so the drywall can end right here behind the tile transition. So tile's gonna come out to about here. We want our drywall. So tile's gonna end right about here. We want our drywall to come past about 1/2 inch. Then the tile board has room to go over, and then the tile will go over our drywall lip a little bit. Always want some kind of backing behind this transition, so when they put in a shower door, they have something through the tile or the marmoleum, or not marmoleum, excuse me, or through like the cultured stone that they can get into some wood. This is a tough one here. If it was me, I'd really like to see one more stud in between here, and that way we have an easy transition for our drywall to go to that next stud. And then the tile backer can end on this one. So I will suggest that the builder puts one in there. All right, so here's some missing drywall backing. You know, the wall will go this way. The wall will come that way. There's nothing for this board to go through. So you have a couple options. If your builder doesn't do it, you can bring a little shiny 90 and nail it to this one where it comes out and lays flat, or you can grab a piece of 2x4 scab and come through the backside and attach it to this wall. But that drywall backing, that's too far of a reach. Let's see, where else is some more drywall backing that we can go. Usually if it spans more than about 2 or 3 inches, I ask the guys to throw some backing in. This is a good wall corner right here. They threw this backing in for us. And then they left this open so it could be insulated. Let me show you what a bad wall corner looks like. Bad framing. That's pretty good. Same house, same crew, just those guys were thinking back there. Whoever framed these corners out here wasn't thinking too well. Great job on the drywall backing. We got back in here, we got back in there, but there's no way to fill that cavity full of insulation. So that was a big whoops on their behalf. Here's the same thing in this one. Great for drywall, horrible for insulation. They should have packed that full of insulation before they built them. Let's see, back here is another shower. So no piece here to transition from drywall to tile. Nothing to support a shower door. Same here. So that needs to be fixed or added. Let's go to the other one. All right, so here's the master, big old huge master bathroom, soaker tub with a big picture window out there. Nice bathroom stall. Now this bathroom's got a couple things. It does not have the corner support. You can see where they have it marked out for the curb, for the tile curb on both sides. But there's no support going up that's going to end our drywall and start the tile backer. So that's a big one. I know this is the third one in the same house. All right, let me see what else we got. Oh, here we go. Pocket doors. Pocket doors are always great. We love them. So you have a piece on the bottom for your bottom. You have one at 24. You have one at 48, 6 feet, and then you know, it would be 8 foot right here. But with the 9-foot ceilings, we're using 54-inch board. So our 54-inch board, our seam is going to land right here. So it won't have any backing. What I've seen guys do is they'll pop out like this one. They'll pop it out. They'll slide it down, put some drywall screws in it, and then just keep on going. I'm going to try and get the builder to throw in some KD 1x4s right there. There'll be like 4 of them. So one here, one on the back side. This pocket door behind me, same deal. Just so we have the proper backing for our pocket door and our 54-inch board. So there we go. All right, let me see if I can walk around and find anything else to point out for you guys. All right, so these guys putting in their drywall backing. It looks really good. They got that 2x4 way up there, shot it down real good, stuck it out into the room a little bit. That's great on that side. Just gives us some more strength around these corners. But when you're in the vaulted ceiling, you got to make sure you cut those top plates or those drywall backing back a little bit so it doesn't get into your vault. So that just needs to be cut off right there. Another thing on these vaults, this one's, I think that was 13-foot vault or 12-foot vault. This one out here, this one's 18 feet. And way, way up in the very, very peak, we have what I think is some guys that just got a little bit tired on a Friday. So this side of the wall, from this stud that way, and from this stud that way, it's 2 separate top plates, and there's about a 3/4 inch difference. So as the sheetrock, let me zoom back out. As the sheetrock planes across there, it's going to have a natural dip. So we'll bring this to the framer's attention that they reattach this to the truss up higher and get a plane across it so they can put a level across it and make sure there's no framing dips from where the top plate is shifted back versus the one that's up front. So again, kids kind of noticed that a little bit. And these guys this is a good company. They'll want to fix it. So, hey everybody. All right, so this is a direct question I'm answering for John. His YouTube handle is LLHCDV74. He asked me, how do I find work? Do you let the companies know? Do you let the home building companies know or construction companies know that you're open for business? And if so, how do you let them know? So John wants to know, how do I find work? Really fast, simple answers. Tell everybody you know, and I mean everybody. They should all know that you're in business. Have promotional things made, like t-shirts, hats, business cards, lots of business cards. Make sure your car represents you and what you do. Make sure your company's name is somewhere on it. Doesn't have to be a big wrap. Just make it obvious what you do. Get a Facebook page, get a Instagram handle, talk to your local companies like real estate companies, property management companies, real estate people, cold calls, cold walk-ins, flyers at home improvement stores on cars on the weekend. Make sure the local hardware stores know who you are and what you do. Donate your swag and your services to local fundraising, like auctions and stuff like that for the local private schools or the local YMCAs, the Boys and Girls Clubs. Facebook ads. Make sure you learn how to do a little bit of Google optimization for when people are looking for your job. And then job site signs. All right, so let me break this down a little bit easier. There's my company sign. It's just a cheap little $25 sign that sits out in front of any of the jobs we're working on. I put those out on the street, so my subcontractors, my employees, my material delivery, and everybody that drives by knows who's working on it. However, if you have that sign out front, make sure the job site is presentable. When we did the demo, we had a whole pile of crap out here for about 2 weeks, and it looked like crap. I was really embarrassed that it took us that long to clean it all up, but it's potentially my sign and my pile of crap probably pushed away some customers that I could have potentially had if I had a cleaner job site. So it's a double-edged sword on that one. All right, let's break this thing down a little bit more. Everybody that knows you should know what you do for a job. Everybody that knows Jeff knows that I'm a contractor. They know I know drywall. They know I do remodeling work. So there's no real surprise in what Jeff Walters does for work. Make sure you have business cards on you. It is old school, but your business cards are not only just a handout, but they're to place on job sites when you do a job walk. You put them on bulletin boards at your local Starbucks, at your local feed and seed, at the hardware stores. Anywhere there's a board, put your card up there. Put 2 or 3 of them up there. Hand them out. Make sure all of your friends and family has your business cards to hand out. Speaking of friends and family, make sure that your friends and family know that you will reward them for a referral. If they're on Facebook, if somebody on Sweet Home's Facebook page says, hey, I'm looking for a remodel contractor, and my customers go on there and say, hey, Jeff Walters did ours and we love him, you should really give him a call. If that customer reaches out to me and gives me the opportunity, I reward them for putting my name out there. It's not a big thing. Sometimes it's just a $10 Starbucks card, but it's a thank you. It's just thank you for advertising for me. I get all my promotional stuff like business cards, my pamphlets and stuff like that. I get those from vistaprint.com. Vistaprint is a real easy to navigate. They have lots of great tools for design and stuff like that. And then I have a local sign company, Outback Signs. She does all of my boards and my truck and my trailer, stuff like that. Right. You could, for about $150, $200, you can have your company's name, your number, and a brief description on shirts, hats, sweatshirts, everything. Get your kids to wear them, get your wives to wear them, get your husbands to wear them. And that way you give them to your parents, give them to your uncles, cousins, anybody that'll wear your advertisement, give it to them. as long as they're not somebody that's going to put out a bad name for what you're doing. Your cars, your trucks, if you drive so here's my work truck, nothing really special about it. If you drive a sedan because you're only doing handyman repair, then on that sedan, right on the back window somewhere, it should say, hey, my name is John and I do drywall repair. You know, I do handyman repair, something. If that's your estimating car, then put on it your company name and say, call for free estimates. Somebody that just, that makes it known that you have an estimate option. My truck does not have anything on it, mainly because I have a huge dent and I wanted to get the dent fixed before I got the wrap. It's not a wrap, it's just going to be a logo and name on the side of it. But we got the dent fixed, and now it'll be covered up with a company name on it here in the next 6 to 12 months. Outback Signs in Lebanon, Oregon is going to do that for me. I don't know how to say this. If you drive a piece of crap car, it's tough to put your name on the side of it. You don't want that to represent your company. I don't think anybody should go into debt. So avoid going out and buying a really expensive fancy car just so you can advertise on it. But at the same time, something should be presentable. My truck is not a fancy truck. It's a paid off 2000 Ford. And it gets the job done. I can tow everything I need to tow with it and gets me there to the job sites. You should have a website. If you don't have a website or don't know how to do that, then just start with Instagram and start with Facebook. Get your company name on those social media and start posting some of your work, even if it's past work. Be careful. Don't post your boss's stuff. Don't post somebody else's pictures. Don't poach pictures from the internet. Use your own stuff. And it doesn't have to be super fancy, unless you're going for fancy stuff. That's a different story. Make sure that when you're in those groups that you're tagging your own company page. So if you're in a community page that you live in, make sure that you're tagging your construction company's page with that, and your friends are. And if your company's name is your name, like say Jeff Walters Construction, then maybe you even change your personal Facebook page to Jeff Walters Construction, or something like that. Some businesses to hit up with your information: real estate agents. They always need handymen. They always need contractors. They always need a patch guy or drywall guy. Property management companies often are tied in with a real estate agent, but not always. So property management companies are always looking for reliable, clean, professional workers. All right, let's talk about one of the hardest ways to do it: cold calling. Either getting on the phone and making phone calls, text messages, or by stop bys. When you come by and you see a construction company or a house being built, stop by. Make sure you look presentable. Have a little bit of an elevator pitch ready to go. If you're into drywall, say, hey, my name's John and I do drywall, full service drywall company. You need some patching done. You need some full house done. I'm your guy. Just make sure you have a little bit of something ready to go. Let's go to some of your local hardware stores when they're putting on a show. Go to Home Depot and hang out on a Saturday with a bunch of business cards. If you are a finish carpenter, make sure that you're, hanging out around the finish carpentry tools with a business card. If someone struggles, looks like they're going to do, say, give me your card. Say, hey, give me a call if you need any help with that. Just be the nice guy that happens to do the thing that they're looking at doing. Some other things that can work. Again, we talked about, going back to the cold stop bys. When I see a house that's being built, and especially back when I was doing only drywall, I would stop by that house. I would walk through that house. I would even sometimes do a material takeoff, and I would stop by. Sometimes I'd stop by these jobs 3, 4, 5 times before the builder would finally call me, or when I would finally run into the builder on the job and say, hey, I'm Jeff, you looking for a drywall contractor or what? Always be positive, always be a smile on your face, and do your best to always dress one step higher than your competition. All right, let's talk about the referrals, our referral bonus to your friends, your family, and any of your previous customers. If someone's willing to do that, then offer a Starbucks card or whatever local coffee shop that you like and you support. If you're going to buy $300 worth of $10 cards, $10 gift cards, then make sure you leave some of your business cards there and tell them business to business, see, I'm supporting you. If you know anybody looking for work, looking for a contractor, then here's my card. And make sure that you're friendly with everybody. I just did a $15,000 bathroom remodel with our Starbucks baristas in her husband's house a couple months back. In Vistaprint, you can have some flyers made up that are just single page, little, I think they're 4x9s or 4x10s, just look like the size of an envelope. You can do it in color with a little bit of your work, a little bit of your information, and you can have 1,000 of those made up. Or you can hand them out anywhere you want to go. Local lumber yards, you can sometimes you can give them 5 or 6 of them, and they'll hold them off behind their desks. And if they need to give it out to somebody going in there looking for work, get to know the pro desk ladies and guys at Home Depot and Lowe's, and make sure they know who you are. Donating swag and services. If oftentimes you can do at a silent auction for like a kids charity, you can give a gift certificate for $100 off a $200 service, and that on the back in the small print you could say a $200 service is a 4-hour repair. Anything over that is an additional $65 an hour plus materials. And sometimes people will have a drywall patch that they want done, or a door that needs to be adjusted, and they don't want to pay the $400 or $500 to have it done, but they will more than willing to pay $500, $600, $700 to an auction. Again, job site signs, have them on the front of the property, and then have them down at the street corners with arrows on them pointing to your job site. You might lose some of them, so be ready to kind of replace them, find a different location for them so you're not pissing everybody off. Facebook ads or a sponsored post or something like that, however you want to look at it, but look into Facebook and Google search optimization. Make sure that if you do have a website or you have a Google listing, make sure that you understand how to optimize it. I'm not a big fan of paying for Google search results. There is a lot of free information on YouTube about learning how to use Google and their search results and making sure that you are an established business that Google will send people to. So, all right, guys, that's what I've got for some quick and easy tips. If you guys have some options that I didn't cover, share them in my comments. I'd love to see it. John, I really appreciate you leaving that comment and that question. I hope you find this video useful, and I hope the best for you in the future of your new construction company. All right, everybody, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, great little shout out to one of our GCs, Sam Stone. His company is Sons of Stone, I think. I can't remember. Sorry, Sam. Him and his wife, Elizabeth. Sam came through and did all the demo on this project. Did some cabinet layout. You can see over there's a couple of lines, describe it. All of our wires on the right heights. Him and his electrician went through. And then he leaves me a hard copy of the cabinet layout. And what that is for is so I'm not wasting my time or his money. That's a big one, his money. Doing a bunch of patches behind cabinets that are never going to be seen. He's got a full height backsplash all the way around here, so we don't waste our time other than just getting the loose material off and getting it ready for his guys. So again, GCs, save yourself some money, line out your guys, and project will turn out cool. All right, see ya. All right, back to my favorite barnuminium, doing a little touch up. We got the blue tape grenade went off in here, so let me show you a little bit of small touch-up detail, how we do it. All done. Don't even need any paint. Water-based texture, cardboard shields. We just have this tiny little dot right there. We do a little practice sample on our shield. Not too bad. Then we start on the shield and we flick it up to the wall. So I'm kind of looking down where my texture is going to hit. And this is water-based texture, so it really shrinks back quite a bit. So do a little bit more than you think you need for water-based, and then let it dry. You can always come back and take a look at it in 10 or 15 minutes and see what it's going to look like. So that's pretty much done right there. All right, so basically all I did is I V'd out the groove a little bit, only about a 1/16 inch deep, maybe 1/8 inch wide. And then I used a spackling, not drywall mud, but actual spackling. Filled it back in. It's a no shrink spackle, so that's about what it's gonna be like. And then I rubbed the edges with my finger to get that texture back out. So I'm not filling the texture, I'm only filling the crack or the little gouge that I just made. And that way, just a little bit of water-based texture, and that should disappear. That's all we're doing. Just a little tiny texture, just to get rid of our small little fill. All right, simple and easy. Hey everybody, really quick, I've had some questions regarding some formal estimates and formal contracts, and I just want to throw together a little video here to show you guys what I do. And remember, I'm not the best at this. This just works for me, and I'm always open to suggestions. So if you guys got something cool, throw them down in the comments or reach out to me privately. But this is what my proposals look like. So this project, here, let me turn the camera around. All right, so this project, this is a generic one. I stripped it out of most of all the sensitive information. I call these my proposals because they're not a contract. They're not really a hardcore estimate. I like my proposals to be conversation pieces. So this is a quick one. I got rid of my logo. My logo is kind of lame. You guys don't need to see that. And these are kind of blank spots where you can put your information, customer's information, and then down here in the description. I just put down basically what we're doing. I put it down in as much detail so the customer kind of knows what I'm planning to do, but also a little bit vague. So if the details need to be adjusted, it's not too permanent, I guess you could say. Then I also do my exclusions, what does not include in there. That's really important. Putting down your description is really important, but putting down what you're not gonna do is just as important. So I don't have any dry rot or mold set aside in this estimate. And any asbestos or hazardous materials, I'm not handling any of that. If I find any, I will let the customer know the moment I find it. So that's right here. If suspected, they will be the results of that will be brought to the customer's immediate attention. Engineering permits and inspections are not included and will not be needed. I'm not doing any structural, I'm not doing any electrical, I'm not doing any plumbing. I'm just moving a small interior wall around a little bit, and then we're re-drywalling. We're gonna insulate it for sound barrier, and then we're gonna re-drywall it. Now, my customer is a journeyman electrician, so he is going to be doing some electrical work in there. And I said all electrical work, so right here, all electrical work will be done by the customer, and they are responsible for their permits. That's a big one. All right, so here's a couple final details. All material, labor, dump fees, licensing, insurance, and bond are included and are the responsibility of the contractor. That's me, Linear Construction, and are included in this price. Change orders will be verified in email, and the price will be agreed upon before the extra work is started. So that's where if the customer changes something, adds something, I want to make sure that they understand that there's a pathway to move forward. Guys, this is to protect the customer as much as it is to protect me. It keeps me on track and making sure I'm doing the right thing. Also, the customer and contractor must respond in a timely manner to avoid job site delays and schedules. Linear Construction time and material work will be billed out. So if we do any extra work over and beyond this project, we would be billing out at $65 an hour, and the material is $25 upcharge. So our total work is $9,300. Now here's some special comment. Price is this price, but if you separate this project and only have me do the framing and the drywall and not the painting, not the insulation, then the price of the drywall and paint might go up. All right. This price is valid for 45 days. 50% of this 50% of the contract is due once they schedule the work. So once we are about 2 or 3 weeks from doing it and we have a hard schedule, they pay me half of $9,300. Now, for bigger jobs, this is just some generic wording. Draws off the balance may be required, but they will not total more than 80% of the project and must be in line with the value of the stage of the project. So basically what I'm saying right here, guys, is I can ask for a draw, but I cannot ask for a draw for, 60% more than what I can't get ahead of myself on the draw versus where we're at. This keeps the customer in control. You've got to give your customers control of their money. And that's how you guys build the trust. The balance payment is due upon completion of the project. If you have any questions on this estimate, contact, and then I put that for you guys. I have a couple of places right here for customers to sign and for me to sign. I don't always print that off and give it to them. Oftentimes, again, this is a conversation piece that I give the customer. All right, hold on. Let me show you guys a little bit of a breakdown I have for this one. All right, this is just an Excel spreadsheet. I'm not an Excel mastermind or anything like that, but it does kind of help me keep some of my projects online. So I have no money for budget, or I have no money for permits or fees. I've got about $2,000 in demo and cleanup and dumping. I've got a few $100s here for site prep. Rough electrical, that's not me, so I left that one empty. And then I've got time and material for drywall, time and material for paint, labor to install flooring, time and material for interior trim work, hardware, so doing doors, latches, any kind of custom hardware, electrical finish, again, not my job, project wrap-up and miscellaneous. These are kind of the project wrap-up, cleanup, and incidentals. These are kind of my my miscellaneous prices right there, and that's where we come down to $9,500. So on this particular one here, let me find a different one for you. Here's another one that I did not too long ago. This is a little bit more of a raw, all the different categories you can put down in this spreadsheet, and then it even gets a little bit busier. I don't use this spreadsheet to its fullest capability. I'm just not that good with Excel, so I don't dig super deep into it. I am working with a person that I would consider highly efficient at Excel, and we are expanding this to be for me to help track some of my costs and projects like that. But right now, I keep this spreadsheet down to a pretty simple, just 2 lines, percentages of the project. I can get in here and we can reword some of these. So instead of floor decking, we can just, edit that and just put, flooring. You can just change it any way you want. There are a bunch of different options to help you keep the math right on this. It's nice to have them with more categories when you're doing your estimating and project cost breakdowns. The more categories you have, the less likely you or like myself will forget an area that we need to take in consideration when we're putting this all together. So that's kind of, I've shown videos on how I do some low tech where I just write down on pencil and paper. I think you guys remember the notepad. That's where I take all my notes down. Then there's this option. There is, you can buy $10,000 estimating programs, guys, or you can just kind of keep it cheap and affordable and use what works for you. And I just highly suggest just don't cut yourself short. Keep your profit margins as high as you can. Make sure you're understanding the market you're in. Not every market is going to be able to support more than 1 or 2 contractors that do $60,000 bathroom remodels. So if you're not that good, maybe you just don't get to charge that much, and maybe you get to be the guy in town that is the super value guy. If you're really, really good and your town doesn't support it, your market doesn't support it, then you might want to think about relocating a little bit more of a larger community, a bigger city, more high-end white-collar workers that really like their fancy Bluetooth shower controls. So again, figure yourself out, and then just get out there and start bidding. Be honest with your customers. You know, you might be able to cheat somebody out of some money, but you'll never make it in the long run. So just do your best to be honorable, and go out there and win some jobs and do some good projects. All right, guys, hope that helps anybody that's out there. I'm open to suggestions. There's a lot of people out there that are way better at this stuff than I am. Maybe you just don't want to put your stuff out there on the internet. Throw me a comment. Give me some tips. Again, not the best one at this. This is just what works for me. All right, talk to you later. You guys may not be lucky enough to have a small shop in your town. Get to know your local par. The smaller shops that deal directly with contractors, they have contractor sales. So get into those lumber yards and get to know the contractor sales. Some of them might be a little bit of an old curmudgeon, a little bit of a butthead, but once you break through that skin, they can really help you out. And if you find that they don't want to, or you're not cool enough for them, or you're not big enough for them, then say screw it, go find somebody else. There's all sorts of options. And then stay loyal. If you're loyal to them, they will help you out a ton. Summit Hardware here in my little town, Summit Ace Hardware, they have a great garden center. They have a full, lumber yard. It's all the way around. They have brought material out for me at the last minute. They've special ordered stuff. They've rushed orders in. They have just really been a huge asset to me. And I can't speak enough about building connections in the trades. Whether it's your retail center, like this, like Summit is here, or if it's other tradesmen, subcontractors, general contractors that you're buddies with. I've had several times on a Saturday where I needed something. I was able to call one of my contractor buddies and I borrowed theirs, or go get a piece of material off of their job site and returned it on Monday, or repaid them. So it's just one of those things. Make connections. Be smart about what you're doing. Leverage other people's knowledge. Be somebody that they want to see success. If you're a butthole, they're not going to want to see you succeed. These folks here, they refer my name out to customers that come in looking for a builder, or looking for some construction work to be done. So that's great. It's a scratch your back, scratch mine, that kind of stuff. So really concentrate on building connections. I think connections is extremely underrated. I think there's way too many lone wolves out there. I think there's way too many people out there that you think you know everything. You don't need any help from anybody. You don't need any advice. Well, that's just a waste. There's so much information out there available to you. Why you're not using it is just foolish. I don't understand that. I just want to say thank you, Summit, Ace Hardware, and they've been great to me. And go out there, start building your guys' connections, and start leveraging other people's knowledge, and they will help you succeed. At the same time, you can support them. All right. Don't forget, if you like this kind of stuff, don't forget, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell me who you guys are using and what's in your area. And here in the Pacific Northwest, we have PAR. We have, this is a single franchise. Owners have one store. And they're through the ACE program. I know in this little town about 20 miles over here, that ACE Hardware over there, they're starting to do a little bit more more lumber. We have one called Spaith. We have one called Par Build. Then we have, I think it's called Pro Build now. It used to be Lumberman's. Then it was Pro Build. I can't remember. They've gone through a couple different ownership out there at that one, but they're a good resource as well. So again, tell me who you're using, like and subscribe. If you've had bad experiences, love to hear some of that stuff. It's kind of always entertaining. So all right, guys, till next one. See ya. The youngest kid on the crew just happens to be the boss's son, so that's who's unloading the tractor. Everybody gets to watch him screw up. You're fine, just come forward.
Still waiting for my lesson.
When I own one, you'll get it. Pick your bucket up. All right, drama's over with. Well, here's a little update on the marble job. Electrician has got us digging and doing the conduit for him. He's too busy and doesn't have the manpower to do the digging and conduit, so we chose to do it for him with his oversight. So you got Simon and Skylar there, custom bending a part. The electrician showed him how to do it. And then a couple phone calls to Bryce. And then, so right here, we're gonna have a two post pedestal area. I call it the electrical command center. Then this overhead's gonna go away, and it's gonna come down, go in the ground, and come back up, and it'll be a big main panel right there. Then we're feeding the garage, feeding the house, and then a second line feeding the barn, which is over there, and then another line feeding the red shop that's back there. So yeah, everything seems to be going really good. Simon and Skylar are doing a real good job of getting those pieces in there, and then Joel's going to be back here. He was just in there with them, and Joel's going to be back here helping me with this last little bit of dig out. I'm digging out under the lean-to, so having a spotter back there just to make sure I stay away from the building. Oh yeah, there's a fun little update out here at the big classic Lazy M ranch. Yeah, plumber's inside. He's got another couple days worth of plumbing inside the big house, and then that's our last utility. Then it's insulation and drywall inside the big house. So yeah, here we go. All right, another day out here at the patio cover project. Small addition patio cover. So each one of these areas, 1, 2, 3, those areas will be pushed out 6 feet, and then in the middle we'll have a great big patio cover going out that way with a nice big deck underneath it. Today's tractor day. We've already got all the concrete all broke up, cut up to small manageable pieces, and then now we're gonna load it up in the dump trailer, take it up to the rock quarry where they'll bust it up and reuse it for other things. But yeah, so this is day 1, or I guess day 2, day 1, day half, I don't know. Joel and Jesus had a half day in here cutting all this up, getting it ready for us, and then we'll be moving dirt, probably 3-4 hours of dirt moving and going forward. All right, I'll turn the GoPro on and you guys see what we're up to. Okay, Joel, can you go dump it? All right, so here's a Friday afternoon wrap up. All the guys are gone for the weekend. Let's see. Pretty nice. Beautiful Friday. Not bad for end of October for weather. We got a couple days of rain earlier in the week, but the last 2 days have been really nice. We got all of our backfill done. We got a few loads of rock delivered out to try and help recover some of their driveway, the gravel. But yeah, so let me, so our backfill's all the way done. We still have to repair some of this irrigation weep line that we ripped into. So we've got about 150 feet of that trench to do. The patio cover is a mess. Guys worked late right up to quitting time, didn't have time. They didn't set time aside to do any cleanup, which I understand. It's something nobody likes to do, but it's tough on a weekend to have a job site that's kind of dirty. Made a little parking spot for the customer here. So they have the 2 spots here and 1 up there now. Deck framing is still what you guys saw last time, but all the siding's done. So this is a LP T111, 3/8 on the face, 1/2 inch on the sides to match the original blue. Here, let me turn this around. Here's a construction tip for you. If you're a contractor and you have kids that are interested in construction, then help them, learn them, teach them at a young age. We've got Joel here. Say hi, Joel.
Hello.
Got Joel here after work, running the tractor on our property, trying to improve our driveway a little bit. Be honest with these kids. Don't sugarcoat construction. Make sure they understand that it's crappy work unless you do it the right way, and just really be a good steward of it and teach them just like you teach them any other thing in life. Teach them respect. You see it? Right here. Why are you digging? Now you gonna backblade it? Drive over it and drag it back and go forth? Okay. That's a construction tip. Construction's not for everybody, but if you have a youth in your life that's interested, then foster that interest. We'll see if we can get a view of the sunset. Foster that interest. Help them be successful right off the bat. There's no reason for them to have to learn everything the hard way. Set them up for success early. And you never know where that might turn around for you. Here's our sunset in just a second. That's overlooking the Oregon coastline. Beautiful sunset. All right. Roofers came and finished up that peak and that ridge. Finished up our rock wall. Smoothed out some of the gravel and rock. Guys are working on the framing for the big deck that's going on here. So the vision here is the deck will come out here, wrap around and come out, and at the end of the house we'll have 1 step and then down onto a platform. Then you see our footing here is low. The step will come down and we'll actually have steps out to a little concrete pad that's out here. Hopefully we can clear some of these rocks that we just put in behind our steps. So yeah, everything's looking really good. We will have this concrete sidewalk extended back out to here. And then it'll switch over to a deck, a low deck right here. Guys are getting the floor joist in for the decking. Looking real good. How's that new gun working?
Good. I like it. It blows out a lot of air though. Of course I am. Pressure.
Or something, right? Underside of the patio cover is looking fantastic. Mud, mud, and more mud. All right, so that's what we're doing. Staying out of the rain, moving forward. It's looking good. They're doing a good job. All right. Stay tuned for another update. I wish you guys had taken the time today to clean it up, but I suppose if I had a dump trailer out here, I should have probably parked it out there, and so it's probably partially my fault for not getting the right equipment out here during the time that it needs. So yeah, electrician will be out here next week to rerun some of those wires with those bedroom walls that have been opened up. Once the electrician is done, then we'll get our electrical rough end done. Then we can get our framing, our final framing done. Yeah, that's how it goes here in Oregon. They won't sign off your final framing, okay to cover, until plumbers are signed off, electricians are signed off, and HVAC is signed off. They're afraid that if they sign off the framing beforehand, then those other trades will drill holes where they're not supposed to drill them and weaken some of the framing supports. So they want to be able to catch it when a plumber or an electrician screws up, and before they sign off the framing. So that's why they do that here. But yeah, project's really come together well. Hope you enjoyed the updates. Don't forget, if you like what we're doing, do like and subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and ask them below. I like chit-chatting with you guys. So here we are, texturing on a Saturday. The tapers took a little bit longer than we planned, so we have to try and make up for the schedule over the weekend. Yay. This one is a pretty simple one, with the exception of all the tie-in. If you've ever done remodel work, you know that the tie-in between the old work and the new work is where you lose your money, or you lose your quality, one of the two. So if you budget correctly, you'll do really well, but there's always more than you think. So estimating tip, always overbid on the tie-in work. That way you can slow down, take your time. This big seam right here behind me, right above me, it's 22 feet long. We've got old ceiling that we've sanded down, and now we're going to do a tight skim on it. All of these lights are coming down here in a second. We've got 3 or 4 patches in the middle of this one. So again, lots of extra masking, refrigerator, freezer on the other side, washer and dryer in the other room. We're gonna be texturing those 3 new rooms. Then we're gonna be moving some of the stuff over there, get it out of the way, and so we can spray out in here. After we do a quick little putty coat on that ceiling. So yeah, hope you guys are doing good. Enjoying a Saturday, working, making some money. Got Jesus is helping me mask, do some of the patches. Got my little man Joel. Well, he's not so little anymore. He's out here getting ready to help me get spraying. Oh, he found a kitty cat. or the kitty cat found him. Oh, yeah, the collar. We need to fix this collar. So that's why you don't put, well, I guess I don't know what to say about that one. Probably shouldn't put collars on outdoor cats.
It looks like it was meant to be like that.
Nope, it's not meant to be like that. It got trapped around his neck. So.
No, I mean like.
No, it's around his paw. It's not.
If you look at the thing, there's marks right here where it was normally been tightened there.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be around his leg. Okay. All right, so there's our weekend work for us. Again, about 70 sheets of sheetrock. We're going to be spraying out. Will be equal to about 80 sheets. Or I'm sorry, about 100 sheets. So, yeah. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Don't really know what else to say about this one. It's kind of in between phases right now. Letting the concrete cure for another couple days while we finish up a project on the other side of town. Let's see, that sun's getting right there. It won't take us more than a day or so to roll all these floor joists. Then we will let the customer do his own plumbing. So the customer will come in and put all of his underfloor plumbing in. And once that's inspected, the underfloor framing will be inspected. Then we'll be able to start laying the floor sheeting, the stuff, and start building our walls above it. So yeah, stay tuned for this one. This is going to be kind of fun. We'll have a few updates. Actually, I'll probably just loop this footage in with the guys that are starting the framing next couple days. So here's a little bit of a before, you know, and then we'll have a sill plate down, and then the joists will sit on top. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. So, all right. Again, don't have a whole lot more to say. Just kind of cranking through, getting our material out here. With fluctuation material prices right now, we wouldn't always have a whole house packet delivered like this. Oftentimes we would stagger it with 1 or 2 loads, so we have more room to work. But prices right now seem to be pretty low, and the customer didn't want to take the chances of the prices going up in the next month. So we went ahead and just had the whole thing brought out and paid for. So yeah, that's a fun update on the big yellow farmhouse. All right, guys, see ya. Well, the customer came in over the weekend, and they organized our material pile for us, got it out of the way, and he borrowed his father's tractor, did all of his backfilling, gave us a nice smooth work environment. We're setting up scaffold to do the upper level sheeting. He organized all of our lumber way over there. You see on the other side, Simon and Bill. All the lumber's been organized over there. That's one of the great parts of working with clients that want to save money. They end up taking some of this manual labor onto themselves, and that's really helpful. So here, I'll turn this around. I'll show you guys a little bit more. Just a quick little update. Got our rough framing openings done, dried in, ready for the next phase. Doing some garage door wraps. Gonna be starting to throw up some siding around here. It's looking really cool. All right. It's kind of cold and wet up here, so welcome to spring and fall at Tadmore, I suppose.